Just Cool Radio disturbing the silence. Everybody turn it up loud, loud, loud. Just Cool Radio, Madina.
Just Cool Radio is on the hunt for DJs, presenters and hosts to be a part of our broadcasting assistant team. If you feel you have the skills and the ability to join this exclusive team, then get in contact with Just Cool Radio right about now via the email JUSCOOLRADIO@outlook.com. Also, contact us via WhatsApp or via the phone line on the number of +447 538 704 791. We repeat one more time. This is JustCoolRadio.com on the hunt for hosts, presenters and DJs who would like to join our broadcasting team. So if you want to join our team, the number is +447 538 704 791. JustCoolRadio.com, disturbing the silence, catching the eye of many.
Just Cool Radio, Just Cool Radio.
Yo, this is Terry Walker, and you're listening to Just Cool Radio, disturbing the silence, catching the eye of many.
Every time I chill with Special K, you know he's just killing all sounds on Universal Show. Soundboy don't wanna test, cause Soundboy is gonna die if you test the special. So when we tell him, Special, Soundboy, bury them now. Yo, you know what it is. Why Clef chilling with no other than Mr. Universal himself, Special K. Let's go. Girl, you are picture perfect. Perfect picture. Yes, you are. Girl, you are picture perfect. Perfect picture. Yes, you are. I couldn't draw you better, baby. You were so divine, I guess. God took his time when he came up with your design. I couldn't draw you better, baby. You were so divine, I guess. God took his time when I messed up that line. Girl, you are picture perfect. Perfect picture. In my eyes, girl, you are picture perfect, perfect picture. Yes, you are. What's up, y'all? This is your main man, Eric Robertson, and you are checking out the Universal Show with my main man, Special K. Let the music play, brother. Let's touch it.
Yo, you done know it's myself, Fran De La Cruz, Mr. Cruising. This is an exclusive for the one and only DJ Special K and the world famous Universal Show. You done know, keep it locked. There goes my baby. Ooh, girl, look at you. You don't know how good it feels to call you my girl. There goes my baby. Loving everything you do. Ooh, girl, look at you. Bet you ain't know that I be checking you out when you be putting your heels on. I swear your body's so perfect, baby. How you work it, baby, yeah. I love the way that you be working it out. Give me something to look on. So please believe you got me twerking it out. By the end of this night, I've been waiting all day to wrap my head around your waist and kiss your face. Wouldn't trade this feeling for nothing, not even for a minute. Now sit here long as it takes to get you all alone. But as soon as you come walking my way, you gon' hear me say, there goes my baby. Ooh, girl, look at you. You don't know how good it feels to call you my girl. There whenever I see your face, you in the place, girl. I feel like I'm in a movie, baby. I'm like ooey, baby, oh. Like waterfalls that falls down to your waist. Can I get a taste, girl? No need to keep this, baby. I ain't ashamed of calling your name, girl. To wrap my head around your waist and kiss your face. Wouldn't trade this feeling for nothing.
Yo, this is Don E, and this is a universal exclusive for my DJ Special K. Yo, Special, when this one drops, girls are gonna go crazy, bro. Run the track.
Special to the game, play it so nice. The classic tunes, he's got them ready to burn down the dance and down the party, yeah. And it feels so right. Universal in our lives. So many times.
I want to take this time to big up the Universal boss, Special K, on the Universal Show. Lifting the mood with some soulful tunes from across the globe. Especially when you know you got that Monday blues.
It started out as a great weekend. Had fun hanging out with my friends. Now the weekend's done and reality kicks in. Ring, ring, and the alarm goes off. Set snooze, cause I don't wanna wake up. Grab a coffee, get ready, here we go again. Get to work just about on time. Sick and tired of working 9 to 5. Daydreaming of a better life. Doing the things I wanna do.
Pull up the tune, Special K. Pull it up, selector.
Oh, Special K.
Pull up the tune, Special K. Pull it up, selector. Pull up the tune, Special K. Pull it up, selector.
I want to take this time to big up the Universal boss, Special K, on the Universal Show. Lifting the mood with some soulful tunes from across the globe. Especially when you know you got that Monday blues.
started out as a great weekend. Had fun hanging out with my friends. Now the weekend's done and reality kicks in. Ring, ring, and the alarm goes off. Sad snooze, cause I don't wanna wake up. Grab a coffee, get ready, here we go again. Get to work just about on time. Sick and tired of working 9 to 5. Daydreaming of a bad life. Doing the things I wanna do. Oh, Special K, they got the Monday blues. Play the song again, play the song again. Ooh, say the kind of best, say the kind of really bad. Oh, Monday. I'm looking at the clock every 5 minutes. Time dragging on. Phones ringing, customers complaining. I just wanna go home. Mondays always seem to be the worst day. When I'm looking through my diary, still got bills to pay. I need to get away. Ooh, I need a holiday. Here we go again now. Ooh, I got the Monday.
This is Omar and a universal exclusive for my DJ, Special K. Ladies, you remember this one. Ooh, oh, ba-doo-boo-wee-hoo. Sip a glass of cold champagne wine. The rug that we lie on feels divine, and there's no ecstasy, the word of the night, ringing in our ears, we've been blind, and there's no substitution. No DJ like this. No DJ like this. No one could ever have what Special K has. There's no DJ like this. Bum ba ba bum ba doo boo.
Hey, this is Miriam, and this is a world exclusive from my DJ Special K on the world famous Universal show. Yo, Special, don't worry, no DJ in the world can play this. I've got you, baby. From Toronto to London, let's do this. Special K is dope on the Universal show. Special K is dope, Universal show. I light you up and watch it burn. Then I suck till it hurts. The fire on my lips is the only kiss you give me. The feeling lingers like the scent of can't let you go. Special K is dope on the universal show. Special K is dope on the universal show. We get high, 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 we get high. So I wanna see that and the reality that. And you're not here with me, yeah. I don't wanna see that. Special K is dope. Universal show.
What's up? This is me, Beverly Knight, and I'm doing this for my man Special K. And I got something to say on this laid back rhythm. This is for you, Special K. Take it in, take it in. From a place that had no meaning, from the wilderness of time to the land of new beginnings, starting with a new design. Never doubted for a second that I'd do it on my own, and I held on to my corner, trusted in the things I know, and you will never feel how good it is to love me rather than control me. Yeah, I don't need the world weighing down my shoulders.
Pull up the tune, Special K.
That's all over. Here I am.
Pull up the tune, Special K. Pull it up, selector.
What's up? This is me, Beverly Knight, and I'm doing this for my man Special K. And I got something to say on this laid back rhythm. This is for you, Special K. Take it in, take it in. From a place that had no meaning, from the wilderness of time to the land of new beginnings, starting with a new design. Never doubted for a second that I'd do it on my own, and I held on to my corner, trusted in the things I know, and you will never feel how good it is to love me rather than control me. Yeah, I don't need the world weighing down my shoulders, but that's all over. Here I am. I made it back with Special K. Said I made it back to do this once again. Said I made it back with Special K. Said I made it back. Yes, I did.
Hey, yo, Special K, I know you got the ladies pun locked, man, but right now, sound boys must die right away. This is a universal show exclusive, man. Official white hair brothers. All the sound boys must die right away, or we are kill them for blood clot dead, eh? See, this one hits like a Russian lethal and
boy, dibby sound, but Special K a death, Special K a death. No for them a hurry, no for them a hurry. Some of them a fret, some of them a fret. I want them a try to do test the Special K. I want them to try to test the Special K. So them want to take it personal. Kill out all the enemies. Leave for y'all a defense Special K. Kill out all the enemies. Leave for y'all of the special key of the bomber. Have a new gun where they call it the bomber. He blow up a ship and he blow up the tank. I shoot down police and wipe out soldier. From behind a wall, it kill a web worker. What about the 16 and the Bushmaster? Damn Desert Eagle, German Luger. Special game, me know him born as a warrior. No sound boy can break down for a barrier. This a cut the rank on the microphone center. Anyway me come me and the roots and culture. Ram dance all every crib is to corner. Follow me no massive man, we grind. Go for it, 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 and when we see the trophy, we grind. Go for it, we grind. See the Grammy, we grind. Go for it and press the trigger. Dibby sound boy go down and shiver. Sound boy blood start run like river. Doctor take them up and put them on treasure. Get them go a madden and leave them in a freezer. We rougher than Lazarus, we better than Caesar. Turn them in a mince beef, take them make pizza. Dibby sound boy pack up and leave. Fuck special case, so you walk up and warrior. No sound boy can break down for a barrier. Follow me no massive. Oh, Dibby sound boy, special K a deck, special K a deck. Enough of them a worry, enough of them a worry. Some of them a fret, some of them a fret. We have a stopper. To every sound boy, you have to talk to a proper. Come a dance all, we a go kill them with the culture. Tell you special K a the ram dance master. Anywhere we go, we a the hill and gully rider. Let's go to rank them on the microphone center. Be don't pan it a come from Shabba.
Yo, watch you know, girl them a call with name you know. Hear me now, them for no say.
Play this one again, you know. I have to play it again. Some of these dubs this morning I've never, ever featured on radio yet. I just thought it's my last show of 2023. Let me just exercise the pouch, you know what I mean?
Yo, watch you know, girl them a call with name you know. Hear me now, them for no say, oh, at the Universal show. Achina I represent for the universe.
Definitely want to say good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you're situated around the world. Nice to have your listening ears.
From what year them a complain.
Just Cool Radio, definitely on the way.
Oh, special case alarm. Search
and if you're locked on this morning, you've definitely started your Saturday morning, not just in a normal way, but in a special way. With the specialist. I'm here till 12 o'clock.
Special key love, see ya. Wine for the girl, let me. Bring it down, make me wrap it up for ya.
Chino! Big Ship family.
So fine, my love, see ya. Wine for the girl.
Alright, listen.
Put this on and a gargamel. You have Gina hypnotizes like you have him on a spell. We are now in the club and a Chrissy and a Mandela. Don't you wine so get me on and all. She get the water from the well, I ring a lot.
Damn, how was your week? How's your Xmas week been? Definitely want to say season greetings going out to all of you locked in this morning. Nice to have your listening ears. I think I overdone it with the food. Nah, seriously. Glutton for punishment. I swear. Why do we do it to ourselves year after year after year?
So fine. Here a universal set. All the real top on our wrist, please stand up. When the perform for the gal them, we no ease them up. Just give me the gal them with the bow legs or the knees bend up. You know you have to keep your push.
Universal show definitely on the way. My guest is in the building. Bright and early, I love it. He's ready. The last official show for 2023, right here at JUSCOOLRADIO.com. We're here till 12 o'clock. Oh, I love that. Chino, big up yourself, man. Anywhere you are around the capital, I swear. Is there, Mr. Legacy, can I just get that off a minute, please? Do you mind? Yeah, because it's just like, I feel like my eyes are just streaming. That's better. Thank you. So we're here. It's Saturday morning. Universal show definitely on the way. It's been a mad week. I'm just trying to get over the whole festive blues. Do you know what I mean? As I said, I was overdoing it with the food. I've overdone it with the food. How did you guys get on Xmas Day? How did you get on? Massive shout out to the socials this morning. I see you all active already this morning on the TikTok everywhere. It's getting very, 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 very busy. Definitely want to say good morning and welcome to another installment of the world famous Universal show. As I've said before, my last show for 2023. So I thought, you know what? We're going to go out with a bang this morning. a real bang and get you one of the legends of music, not just in reggae and dancehall and jungle and whatnot, but in music, period. We're going to get him in the building this morning to share his story and just break it down. And he's here live in living colours on JUSCOOLRADIO.com. I like to welcome to the show. And you know what? I've been on radio 23 years. It might be the first time he's been on the show, you know. It might be the first time.
Hello, my brother.
How we doing over there? How we doing? We good? Yeah, we're good over there? Yeah. We're good. I can't hear me. We're good?
Yeah. It's gone down. It's gone down, though.
It's gone down on this one. It's gone down on this one, bro. Yeah, it's come back.
There you go. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, you know.
I don't know. I think we might have done one, you know.
We might have done one back in the days.
Yeah, back in the day.
Back in the 90.4 days.
Yeah,
maybe. It's been so long.
Yeah.
But I like to welcome to the studio, to the show, Universal Show, the last show for 2023. Not only a good friend of mine for years, we just talking off air about how long it's been from when I was about 12, 13 years old. I've watched this young man grow and grow and grow and grow into the pillar, the staple that he is now. And I'm gonna get the years wrong, but I'm just gonna put it 35 years plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know it's probably more than that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying 35 years.
We're looking
plus.
at 40 now.
40 years in the game. We have the man himself in the building right here at Just Call Radio, exclusive on the Universal Show. I'm going to call you Sir Tippa Irie this morning. Can you make some noise for Tippa Irie this morning, please?
Yes, respect.
Come on, man. Sir Tippa Irie this morning. And do you know what it is? When I listen to a lot of Radio Land, especially in London, there's a lot of emphasis on young talent and people that are doing now with all the streams, doing well with all the streams.
Yeah.
How many views they've got on YouTube and social media and whatnot. And we love that and respect that because that's the new wave. But I feel like there's not enough emphasis put on the people that have laid the foundation. And I feel like there seems to be this kind of narrative push like, well, we don't really care what happened before. This is what's happening now. So this is why shows like that this morning, the Universal Show, is very important because we like to highlight the legends and the foundation of music, black music. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So Tippa Irie, welcome to the show, sir.
Much respect, Special K. Thank you very much for having me. You get me out of bed bright and early this morning. But I wake up early anyway, to tell you the truth. I wake up early. But it's a blessing, man. Thank you for having me. Like you said, we've known each other for years.
For years.
And, you know, so it's a joy to come and bless the show.
It is. So, what we're going to do this morning, Tippa.
Yes, sir.
We know that you're going to have a lot of listeners locked on who are very familiar with who you are and what you do.
Yeah.
And also as well, we've got a lot of younger listeners who are tapping into you a bit later.
Okay.
They might not even know the reggae history. They might only know the jungle history.
Yeah.
So we like to just bring it back to basics and let people just get a little,
insight.
A little insight of where you're coming from. Yeah. So we're gonna take it back to before you was even Tippa Irie.
Yes,
that's where we want to go back to.
Yeah,
we're gonna get them because it's the last show of 23, so we're gonna make it. Make it spicy,
in depth.
Yeah, very in depth. Yeah. No wishy washy. You know what I mean? No script, as you can see, no paperwork.
Yes,
we're just talking.
Yeah,
two grown men having a conversation.
Yeah,
take me back to a young before Tippa.
Yeah.
School. Where did you go school? Where you hailing from?
Well. My basically I was born in Dulwich Hospital, in Dulwich, and the family lived in that area for a while. My dad, when he came from Jamaica, he was a greengrocer, so he had a corner shop in Dulwich. So I was born in Dulwich, and then we was in Dulwich for a while, and then we moved from there to Brixton Hill.
Right.
And that's where, my connection with Brixton started. And so I went to Brockwell School, which is in Towers Hill, not too far from where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And from Towers Hill, and then moved to Loughborough Junction.
Okay.
Which is basically East Lake Road, which is off of Cole Harbour Lane.
Right.
So I spent most of my childhood in just mainly born in Dulwich, stayed there for a couple of years. Then we moved to Brixton Hill, and then from Brixton Hill we moved to East Lake Road, which is off Cole Harbour Lane, which is still Brixton, like between Brixton and Camberwell Green. So basically, I went to Loughborough Junction School. You know what I mean? I went Brockwell School first, then Loughborough Junction School, and then kind of that's where I kind of like grew up around that area there in a little Brixton White Horse, you know, area there. And, you know, I was just like a normal child, you know what I mean? Normal kid. I had my little friends then. We had our little crew, our little friends. We used to, the main thing was football.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That was our thing. Football was our thing. And then the next thing came music. You know what I mean? But being a young boy, I was blessed because my dad had one of the local shubbins in the area in Brixton. So because my dad had the shubbin every Friday and Saturday, dance agwan. You know what I mean? And, you know, so growing up, I used to obviously, you know, basically Friday, Saturday, I used to help my dad prepare for the evening, and my mum would be cooking food, etc., preparing for the evening. But in the week, my dad also rented the rooms out to bands.
Okay.
So I used to have like bands like The Real Thing, you know, You To Me,
everything. Legendary.
Yeah, all of them groups, they used to rehearse in my dad's basement.
Oh, wow.
So I was just surrounded by music, you know. And so my dad had his little sound, which was musical messiah. That's what he called it, you know what I mean? So he had his little valve amps and his little bits and pieces. And so I was always kind of like engulfed and surrounded by music. You know, obviously my dad used to play U-Roy, Big U, Trinity, Dillinger, Tapazuki, Jim Reeves, you know what I mean? All these kind of people, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up in the music, and then, you know, from there, it just kind of materialized. Me and, you know, Commander B, we had like a youth man sound. We had youth sound. So this was all before King Tubby's and Saxon, you know what I mean? We had a youth man sound called Younger Frontline, and then we called it Tippa Graph. And then that's kind of where the Tippa come from. Because there was also a DJ called Tippa Rankin.
Yes, I've heard of a Tippa Rankin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just liked the name. So because I liked the name, and because we had Tippa Graph, and then I did like Tippa Rankin, I said, you know what, me a Tippa.
So where did Tippa Graph come from? What was that?
It was from Stereograph.
Right. Okay.
Because Commander B's brother was in Stereograph sound.
Okay.
So through the graph, we just take the Tippa and put the graph with it.
Okay.
Graph, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we also liked Young Frontline sound as well, from Brixton. So we thought to call ourselves Younger Frontline. But then we kind of never said nah. We said, you know what, we got more affiliation with Stereograph. So we said, we just came up with the name Tippa Graph and just went with that. But, you know, like you say, you know, to really answer your question, I was just a local boy growing up in Brixton, you know, surrounded by music. I've embraced my parents' culture, you know what I mean, from the Jamaica. And then, you know, after a while, you start to listen to the teachers like you, Roy, and Big Youth and people like that. And, sorry, my phone, just check it out. Yeah, and people like that. Excuse me. Yeah, and people like that. And then, you know, you just kind of develop. Yeah. You know, and you develop after listening to them and learning from them and imitating them, then you kind of start to develop your own style.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. So even though you was brought up around music and you was engulfed in music, is it still the journey that you wanted to take? How did you know then you wanted to be a MC DJ, as it were?
Well, when I left school, I was a laborer, you know. So when I was about 16, I left school 16, not with much qualifications, if any at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, our parents, they're like, you know, sit down in the house.
And I do
you know what I mean? Yeah, and do nothing.
Yeah.
I forgot to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I did that, Because of my mum, when I left school, my mum got me a labouring job. You know what I mean?
Okay.
With a friend of hers called Joe Folks. So I just basically, started to mix cement and whatever. And when I was out there on the building site, I said, yo, Tip, this is not for me. So, back in the 80s we had real snow. It weren't no little stroke snow.
It was 2 to 3 foot. Yeah, it was.
Snow. It was proper snow.
Yeah.
So we used to have to kind of get the cement bags then, put them in the barrel and light the cement bags then to warm up our hands and our overalls and everything.
Yeah.
So when I started to, when I was about 17, I used to go to Soloy dances as well. This was even before Tubby's. Soloy had his little blues sound, and so we used to go there, me and my friend them, and we used to just, go in there and mash up the place. You know what I mean? And then they, you get the little envy, a little
of course.
fight from the man them.
No, who's this? Who's this?
Yeah, who's this? I come in and come mash up with dance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we used to go in there, mash up the place, them, and then Lloyd saw he said, you know what, this youth is talented, I need to put him on a tune. So when I was about 17, I got on the B side of a tune called My Valentine, I'm Gonna Make You Mine, which is by a brother called Tokes. So he was on the A side and I was on the B side. But
was that your first
ever tune?
First ever song?
What
year was that?
Wow, I was 17.
17.
So if you do the maths,
do the maths. Yeah.
I was.
It 17. Was many moons ago.
Many moons ago. Yeah. Yeah, I was 17 when I done that, and I was blessed again because it was Aswad that done the track. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It was Drummy Zeb, God rest his soul.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And Tony Gadd from Aswad.
Right.
They were doing the production. So when me going out the studio, I said, "Whoa, Aswad."
That's
I was
mad.
like, for me, it was still a buzz, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I was a young boy, 17. But anyway, I must have been at some blues dance the night before. So I fell asleep in the session, you know what I mean? Because there was vocal in the other artist and he was taking quite long. So I fell asleep. So then me feel a nudge and Drummy Zeb from Aswad. He wake me, said, Tippa. I said, what happened? He said, yeah, it's your turn time now. So me just go in the booth. And I just done this a tune called me are the opposite, Tippa, I read just attack it, me come to tell you about the opposite.
That's
the
mad.
Opposite, that was my first tune. So it's just a simple tune.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
opposite for right is wrong, the opposite for weak is strong, opposite for Prince Charles was Lady Diane, them time. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a simple tune. So from there came my first tune. And then, from there, Sir Lloyd did a series of live recordings with all of the sound systems. So we had the DSYC, which is Dick Shepherd Youth Center.
Okay.
And then he had volume 1, 2, and 3 of those. So basically, they were just dances with Saxon, Coxon, Taurus, all of the MCs, basically, Ricky Rankin and Osman, Lorna G, Papa Levi, Peter King, myself, and Slater, General Slater. So that was the kind of my next set of recordings after my first ever tune, which was Dick Shepherd 1, 2, and 3.
You hadn't joined King Tubby's yet, though?
No. Because well, in fact, I think I just joined.
You just joined King Tubby's then?
Yeah, just joined because...
How did that initial meeting come?
Well, I was also, to be quite honest, Kay, when at that time, when you're that young and you're coming up, wherever there's a dance...
You're just there.
You just did it.
You're there.
You know what I mean? You're there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there was also another brother called Mikey from MJR. Mikey Dread, you know what I mean? But his son was called Mikey Dread. He's passed on now. I don't know if you know MJR Roadshow.
No. I know of them, but I don't know them.
Yeah. But Mikey was the brother of Cecil from King Tubby's.
Right.
So Mikey used to go out with a friend of mine's. We used to have our little Acre Lane crew, Tony McPherson and Gary and Leroy and Woolsey and all of us. We used to mess about together back in the day. And then Mikey went out with one of my brethren's sister.
Okay.
And I lived next door to her, or my cousin lived next door to her. So I got introduced. So I just met Mikey because they were 2 doors away.
Because of that connection there.
That connection
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And he had his sound, Mikey Dread sound. You know what I'm saying? So we used to go to his dances too. You know what I mean? And then one day he said, Tippa, come me, I forgot bring it for Cecil. You know, I forgot bring it down at Cecil, make Cecil meet you. I said, okay, no problem. You know, because I was excited still because King Tubby's was a big sound.
Yeah, big name.
You know, big name
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So he brought me down there. So it was Mikey, Dread, Mikey from MJR. He brought me to Cecil.
Right.
And introduced me to his brother, basically.
Okay.
And then Cecil heard me and was like, yes, you have to come join the song.
So what was your role on King Tubby's when you joined?
Well, I was just as a normal youth.
It's a normal
youth.
youth.
A normal youth.
Yeah,
you lift the box them. You carry the wire them. You know, you run the wire them.
Yeah.
And then when they string up the sound, that's when you're excited because you know say it's microphone time.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just as a youth coming in. You know, you're just excited, man, and you just want people to hear you.
Yeah, of course.
You just want people to see you. So you weren't even thinking about money or nothing like that.
It was just the exposure, really.
Yeah, just getting out there.
Did you have a lot of lyrics under your belt at them ages, though? At 17, 18?
We never used to really write lyrics then.
Okay.
We used to make them up. So
Right, okay.
you just have them in your head. You know what I mean? And then for me, it wasn't really a writing thing. The writing thing more came in the Saxon days.
Right. So
know
you was
what
more
I'm
like a freestyler.
Yeah.
Are you
it's
still?
freestyle.
And you can still.
But you see, the things what they talk about with Jay-Z and all of them things they're writing in the booth. And we was doing them things there from a long time.
Yeah, that was just standard for you guys.
That was standard thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
yeah.
they're making these things. They're making these guys out to be. They're doing something that's like, oh my God, he can write in the booth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you can just write. You know, we were doing them things, you know, me and Slater and all of us. Look, that's how we used to build our lyrics.
That's amazing. If you've just locked in this morning, we have the legend himself, Mr. Tippa Irie, Sir Tippa Irie. He's in the building this morning, just breaking down the history. This is
take them MBE though, you know.
No.
No, we not take them MBE.
You've been knighted by the Universal show. All right, you can have that one.
Knighted by the community.
All right, sit there. Right, so forwarding on, you're in Tubby's now.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're just glad for the exposure.
Yeah.
What was your time like being around King Tubby's, and what did you learn being around that sound?
Well, it was like really my learning curve, of the whole sound system culture and how it works.
Yeah.
Because obviously I grew up around it on a small scale with my dad. And then you're going into the blues dances, and it's still a small scale. It's just maybe 2 rooms, and they're teething a bit of electric from there, and whatever, and you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But then when you're on a big sound now, you're going into the town halls and the leisure centres, and you're driving from London to country now. You know what I mean? But the most telling experience was getting into a back of a van and driving, you know what I mean, for 2 hours, and then you're coming up, it's like, like when you wake up in the morning and you draw the curtain.
Yeah.
That's what it was like, because remember, the van is full of stuff.
Full of equipment.
And boxes, and you just hear a boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? You hear a noise, that means that we're stopping at a petrol station, and then you hear another boom, 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 boom. And then that might be an hour later we reach, you know what I'm saying? So that was an experience.
That's an experience in itself.
Because, remember, the man I drive, and in my left and in my right, and in my in this and out, and you're there at the back of the van, and you might, the place might be, the van might be full, but you still might be holding on here and holding on there for dear life, you know what I'm saying?
And emergency braking.
So you might end up, if you're not careful, you got to be vigilant, because you got to make sure everything's set a certain way.
Yeah, of course,
because the van, if he breaks suddenly and you end up hitting the corner of a box or something, you're going to have another problem. But anyway, so it was them kind of things, and then going to the places, and just seeing how it all works and learning how to deal with promoters.
Yes.
And dealing with different aspects of the industry and the business side of things. It's pretty straightforward. You know what I mean? Because obviously I learned a lot from my dad. And then obviously being around the little blue sounds, them you do pick up things and you watch and you learn. But when it's just basically on a bigger scale, when you're on a sound like King Tubby's.
Now, your mum wanted you to go into labouring. Right?
Well, she wanted me to work.
Yeah. Did you?
Period.
So how long did you actually do that for?
Even
though you didn't like
long,
it,
not
right?
Long, not
so
long.
what was
about
the difference?
About 6 months.
About 6 months.
Yeah.
So what was it like getting paid for labouring as opposed to getting paid for something that you love?
Yeah.
What was the difference?
Well, the difference is you the labouring is you're just doing it for the money.
Right.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you go and you're doing it and you're not happy doing it.
Yeah.
You're just going.
Just a
and
check.
You know what? It's a check.
Yeah.
But like when you're doing something now. And, back in the days, a man bring you a little jar of herb. Yeah. A man, I bring you a drink. And then at the end of the night, you earn a little change. Not much money. It might be a £5 there, a £10 there.
Well, that was a lot in them days,
Yeah. So, and then, there was, all kind of, it was good. It was good. It was good. It was a good feeling to think, you know what? When I got paid for, I'm thinking, okay, I could actually make a living out of this. So I said to myself, you know what? The building work? No. This music thing, I have to make it work for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I did. I just went full steam ahead. My mum, she was still supportive. You know what I'm saying? And then because I was coming in with something, it wasn't a hell of a lot, but because I was coming, and I'd say, Mum, yeah, put this towards that, she was still cool. You know what I mean? She never stressed me out because at least I was coming on and saying, yo, Mum, we make her £10, say her £5, yeah.
You see that?
I see something, yeah. And she could put it towards the whatever she wanted to. And then, when things kind of escalated now, like I said, I was just going anywhere. Anywhere where there's a mic, back then.
You was there.
Me did there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was there. So I was doing like talent competitions. I was a dancer as well, I used to.
You was a dancer?
Yeah, man.
I don't remember you dancing.
There,
I just always remember you behind the mic.
Arc Slater, man.
What kind of dancing?
But this is like before, like body popping and all of that. Like, yeah.
I don't remember that.
This was before, I would say, maybe the Tubby's days.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because Slater would tell you, he's even put it in my book. You know what I mean?
Right.
That, because we used to do, obviously we used to skank, innit?
Yeah.
We used to skank to Shaka. We used to go to the Shaka dance and skank. But then there was also, the Fathead and Whitehead tunes or all these, them kind of tunes.
Yeah.
Ain't no stopping
us now, yeah.
And all them kind of tunes. We used to dance to them tunes there.
Okay.
But anyway, going back to the Tubbies, when, I was on there for a good little while. And then I think I entered the talent competition and Musled and Dennis Rowe from Saxon, they were there. So they just said, I think they were just recruiting anybody that they could see that had talent. They would just grab. So
I know this is a very pivotal point right now because a lot of listeners want to know about this.
Yes.
Right, because we've heard about the King Tubbies. People are intrigued. How did he join Saxon? Are you guys listening? Because one thing, you know what I love about interviews? Sorry to digress a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I love about interviews, talking to people, and I was saying this to you the other day. You get to hear it from the horse's mouth, not speculation.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
No, well, I think it went like this.
Nice.
No.
Yeah.
This is how it went.
Yeah.
You know them ones there?
Yeah.
This is how it went. So whatever you heard, and if it doesn't sound like this, that's not how it went.
Yeah.
Continue, Tippa.
Yeah.
Right, so the talent contest, Tippa, Musseled and Dennis Rowe was in attendance.
They were there. I mean, like I said, anywhere I could go and pick up the mic and chat and whatever, I did that. So them just saw me at the thing and said, yo, you should come and listen to our sound, man. We want you to come and join our sound. So I said, okay, let me go and have a look. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So me and Rusty, I think he's actually in the country, actually, because Rusty's moved to America now. But
Okay.
I think he's actually here.
He's actually here.
He's actually here
Mm.
until about, well, he's actually here. So me and Rusty was really tight. You know what I mean? So I said, Russ, come, we could go down Lewisham there, go see where this sound. Yeah, I
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
So when we went down there, you know, we liked the vibe because there were singers like Maxi Priest and Roger Robin. They was around, and then there was another brother called Stout, and then there was another brother called, you remember Stout? Yeah, and then there was like Ruben. He called himself Pinky Lou now, but he's from back then. But there's Ruben, and there was Peter King, you know, and then Daddy Colonel was there as well, and he was from Clapham.
Right.
So I think I kind of might have met him before. So
was that a conflict?
Yes.
Because we need to include these things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
there was, even though it's South London,
yeah.
but there was division
it
in
was
South
division.
London,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
As
When
we know
in
from
that sound system culture.
in the sound system culture.
Yeah.
So was that a conflict of interest being
Yes.
from Brixton?
Yes.
And then you've got
yes,
a Blue Borough
yes,
sound.
Yes.
Saxon. Tell us about that.
Definitely. It was uproar. You know, it was uproar because it's like Sol Campbell going to Tottenham. You know what I mean? It's like you understand. It's like I was like one of the mainstay in Brixton. You know, but you know, also Cecil was a very strong-headed guy. You know what I mean? And Musled them just basically said, "What's he paying you? You know, we'll double it." You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Yeah.
Money talks.
Yeah, he's like, "We'll double it." You know what I mean? Someone say, "Okay, well, no problem." I know it's not like I left as such, but he weren't really forthcoming with the papers.
Okay.
And Musled them and Dennis, they were hustlers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could hustle. They were on, you know, they were doing their thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they could come and say, "Yo, this." You know what I mean? So I'm like, "Come, Ross, make a go check it out."
You said you liked the vibe. It was a bit different.
Yeah.
What was so different about the
I think
Saxon dance?
The entertainers.
The
that were
entertainment
there.
side.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
okay.
the entertainers that were there. You know what I mean? Because what they did was not challenge you, but they would uplift you, or they would encourage you, or they will make you know that, yo, you have to come in harder.
Right.
You have to go harder.
It was very competitive.
Yeah.
Amongst the team. Right.
So if Levi is a great lyricist, and then you have Rusty and Sandy and Colonel, and then you had, at the time, you had Max and Roger Robin. These are all, and then every so often you'd have Smiley Culture, Asher Senator.
Jeez.
So these are all very talented people.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say that, you know, Levi was a squadron leader. But for me, you know, lot of people will say it's me.
That you as a squadron leader. Yeah.
I was the one that kind of steered the ship.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much in the early part, but in towards of the latter part is me kind of grab everybody together, and I would normally start.
Yeah.
And then everybody would gravitate to the thing.
I think it's fair to say, without anybody getting upset, this is just what we're saying.
Yeah.
People would look forward to a Saxon cassette.
Yes.
To hear Tippa Irie.
Yeah.
Levy.
Yeah.
And a person that doesn't get spoken about enough.
Yeah.
Sandy.
Yeah. Very.
Let's be real about this.
Yeah.
Everybody, as you said, had their individual roles and talent. They were all talented.
Yeah.
But Sandy had lyrics.
Lyrics,
Lyrics for
very
days.
Much. You see, Rusty was more of a style person.
He's
got a unique style, and he would create unique style. Sandy is just like a lyricist. So, and Levi as well. Although Levi, because even I meet people along the way like Mutabaruka, and you know, and they would say to me, "Boy, Tippa, you know, Levi have lyrics, you know, but you see you have lyrics and style. You have the style.
What do we talk about the other day?
You got lyrics and style.
Yeah.
Feel it. even if you know, even though he's got lyrics, him still have some styles that are very creative and very original. You know what I'm saying?
His flow second to none.
Yeah, so it's just
second to none.
Preference, isn't it? It's preference. People have preference. There's certain people that want to go to a Saxon MC dance to hear Levi. And then there's certain people that if I'm not there, they ain't gonna go. Yeah. And then there's also people that, you know, I know people that you can't talk to them. Rusty's their DJ, and the same thing with Sandy.
Absolutely.
So it's all preference, and I think that's why when we're all together, it's unique because, you know, it's 5 different vibes, but then it all comes under one umbrella.
Can you remember the first time you was in Lewisham Borough?
Yeah.
With Saxon after leaving Tubby's. Can you remember that dance? I know there's going to be too many to remember, but is there a standout dance where you think, rotted, I'm in Lewisham Borough now? You understand?
No, I think it's probably, you know, we used to play at Moonshot.
Moonshot.
You know, so it's probably one of them dances or Lewisham Boys Club.
Yes.
Lewisham Boys Club. Or St. Mary's.
St. Mary's.
You know? So it's one of those, it was one of those kind of venues that I probably went to. But I didn't have no fear them times there. Yeah. We just used to go in, you know, and I kind of still like that now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter where, because I travel all over the world. And, you know, the other day I was in Mexico, you know what I mean? And when you go in, you fly 12 hours, you know, and then you get off the plane and you're meeting strangers, you know, and then you've got to trust that they're going to take you to your hotel, this, that, and then they can't speak your language.
Yes.
So you're going on stage knowing that the audience can't really speak your language. So the stuff that you would normally do to interact with the crowd, some, you know, maybe a few of them might say, you know, if you say yes, this, that, they might not.
Generally, they don't even understand.
But there you go.
Yeah, but it's the vibe.
Yeah, so in a way, I used to just go in. I never had no fear in going to, you know, leaving from Brixton to go to Lewisham. Yeah. Because I was just thinking about, this is another stepping stone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's how I treated it, like a stepping stone.
So here you are, you're in Saxon. And I mean, Saxon are gathering a name for themselves.
Yes.
They're becoming not just notorious of Lewisham Borough, Southeast London. They're dominating London.
Yeah.
To the point they're dominating the UK.
Yeah.
How did that feel to be part of such a dynamic entity?
Well, it was like, you know, like the Beatles, like Mania kind of thing. It might sound extreme, but that's how it was. It was like, when at the beginning, it was just, we were the youths then. So when we went into the clashes, then remember our bigger man for we, you know, when we had clash Blacker them and Saxon and
we're gonna get to that. I'm so glad you brought that up.
You know, and then but at the time we were just young guys.
Yeah.
You know, going into the blues. It's still like a lot of blues dances. So it was, but remember, it was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday, and then in certain parts of country, up in Sheffield, Huddersfield, some of their raving nights were in the week, you know, on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So sometimes we used to have to go up north. So for us, it was just fun. I mean, obviously, we're young guys, you know, young, dumb, full of cum. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
I haven't heard that for years.
Yeah, well, there you go. It was just like that. So obviously, we're just there. We're smoking weed. We're having drink. We've got girls. We're up and down. We're everywhere. So, you know, that's just the reality of the life at the time. You know what I mean? That's how it was. You know what I mean? We was having fun, and that was it.
Tell us about some of the heavy hitters at the time when you started on Saxon, people that you were playing against, and some of the MCs, some of your favorite MC battles against other sounds.
Yeah. Well, one of the main sounds was Young Lion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Young Lion had Daddy Willie, Mr. Palmer, you know, and a few other MCs. They were okay. You know what I mean? They had some, you know, they had some. You know, it'd be interesting to find out where them guys would be today.
Yeah,
If they were
if anybody
still alive.
knows, let us know, man.
Yeah, well,
man.
they've passed on.
Oh, they
you know,
passed on.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
young lion guys, Mr. Palmer,
Unfortunately,
Daddy
man.
Willie, all of them guys,
yeah.
they've gone now. You know what I'm saying? But they some of their battles were okay. When we clashed with Demon and Flinty, Unity and Navigator and them guys there.
Okay.
Them guys, they, you know, a couple of times they got the better of, well, us. Not they probably got the better because all of us weren't there. There might have been maybe a one man and
that's
gang
interesting.
up
I
on
like
you.
that. I like that.
Yeah, but
I like
if
that.
all
No,
of
that's
the
honest.
team is there,
That's honest.
If
That's
all
honest.
the team is there,
Yeah.
then 9 times out of 10.
So when you
there's
felt
no
like
hope for nobody.
Navi and them, when you felt like Navi and them might have got the better of you one night, who wasn't there then?
Probably Levi,
Probably Levi,
probably
right? Okay.
Sandy, whoever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But once all the team is there, you know. But even though you're still like, when you say even get the better, you're still standing your own. It
Yeah,
might
of course.
If you listen to the tape, it might the tape might tell a different story. But when you're in the dance and people are bantering and whatever, they might have got a better of the banter on that night, if you like, because that's what it was about. It's banter as well as lyrics and whatever. But if you listen to the cassette, you know, because no matter which MC was there, none of them MCs had lyrics like our MC.
No way.
None of them.
No way.
So if you listen to the cassette, it might not sound.
And you would stand your own against them all, Tippa. You weren't having it. Because as you said, you was fearless.
You had to do that. You know what I mean? Because I was more, you know, enough of them, you know, because I have how I am and more time, I'm more like the humble one. And if you like, you know, I'm not being modest, but I'm pretty, you know, low key, pretty whatever. But when it comes to going into the fire, even more than Levi and them man there, you know, they're not doing the things that I do. They, you know, they're not gonna go to places where I go, or they're not gonna go in certain of the fire dance them. Me have to go in there, go deal with it. You know, they're not there. You know, one night I had to clash Maccabee and Pato, you know, in Birmingham. And those are two of the best lyricists in the country.
In that country,
Yeah, you understand
From that
me?
area, sorry.
From that area.
Yeah.
And me, I forgot in there. Where was Levi? I'm looking round. He's supposed to be there assisting me. And there, he'd turn up when the dance done.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's things like that. You know what I mean? That used to get my goal. You know, but anyway. You know, it is what it is, man. It's just, you know, I just basically just crack on with it and just deal with whatever situation I can, you know.
Before we go any further, how many years was you at Tubby's?
I'd say at least three years or so.
3 years.
Yeah. And
Right.
then obviously after the talent competition, I kind of went over to Saxon. And then that was where the uproars started because a lot of them, the local man, them in the ears, Tippa, no.
That's what I'm trying to say. You can't
go over there, so.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't even thinking of it like that.
But you was comfortable now.
Yes.
So hold on a minute. So you had, at the time now when you're going up and down the place, you're clashing with Maccabee, Navi and all those guys.
Yeah.
Who was the MCs fronting the sound then? Was it still the Furious
yeah,
Five?
Yeah. It's Tippa, Irie, Daddy Rusty, Sandy, Colonel, Papa Levi.
Right.
And then obviously Smiley and Asher used to come through every now and then. Peter King was about in the more in the early part. It wasn't as, I don't know what happened to Peter, why he kind of moved and was kind of like doing whatever. He probably got involved in something else. But yeah, it was more the famous five.
Right, okay. So with the early Saxon clashes, were they more MC orientated or was it music dub plate for dub plate orientated with you guys fronting us? How did it work back then?
It was, that's why I think we was better. We kind of stood out from a lot of the other sounds because Musled did invest in tunes.
Yes.
So he had tunes and he would go out and invest in equipment. You know, he always wanted to have a unique preamp and whatever, but the sound, you had better quality sounds like Stereograph, sounds like that were better tuned and better quality because the level of engineers what they had, people like Fitzroy and all of these guys, them guys were like top quality engineers. They mixed a lot of the hit tunes them that I done Fitzroy and them mixed them tunes there, and they were Monk stereographed them, so they had a good. Chubba had a really good quality sound, but the sound was still decent.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
it was still decent sounding. But what stood Saxon above all of the other sounds was the MCs.
Right.
Why? What made people wanted to listen to Saxon cassettes? It wasn't because of the tunes them that were played. You
Right.
know, if you got people that mention it's because of the lyrics,
Because of the
because
lyrics.
of the MCs, because they wanted to hear. Because we were talking about social things, we were talking about everything what was going on at the time. So whatever was happening to us was happening to the community.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you was very relatable to what was happening around
so what
at the
was
time.
happening. So for us, you know, the youths them that were our age group,
Yeah.
we were like their little stars. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
of
Because
course.
obviously it was about sound system culture. You used to walking down the road and I'd hear my voice coming through the cars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go anywhere you go, you hear your voice, and then obviously from the sound system, obviously then we started to make tunes, and then we started to make tunes, but when Saxon blew up, that's when the record labels them, you know, became interested in what we were doing.
When would you say was Saxton's defining moment when they've now exploded? Everybody's eyes are on Saxon. What was that year or time?
I would say probably around 84, 85, 86.
Okay.
Around that time.
Right.
You know, 86 was like a great year.
Yeah.
Because, in fact, no, 84 was because we did Coughing Up Fire, you know. When we done that live album, that's when it kind of like went to another level.
Right.
Because at that time, wherever we played was sold out, or it was ramp. You know what I mean? It wasn't even sold out. It was just jam. You couldn't, in certain places, you couldn't even get in. I had to queue up to see myself. You know what I mean? That's how ram it was. You know what I'm saying? So, and then once we done Coughing Up Fire, we all had record deals. You know what I'm saying? So all of the MCs were signed up. Smiley and Asher was on Fashion. We was on Greensleeve.
That's right.
You know, and then Maxi got signed to Virgin. And Levi got signed to Island.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it just kind of, everything just kind of lifted off and exploded. And then it just went like pandemonium, you know?
So now you're signed.
Yes, sir.
How did that feel to be signed? At what age did you get signed?
I would say around 1920.
1920, you get signed.
That was just you're just happy in it. It's just because you don't.
That's
when
progression.
When you're starting, you're just happy to be at a dance. Happy to dance with a girl. Happy to have your little herb and your little drink and you're nice and you go have a good time. You go out, you go home and whatever. But you don't know where it's gonna take you, so you just go with the flow. And that's basically what we did and what I did. I just went with the flow, and then the next thing you know, people see your talent in it. It's just like along the way, starting from the beginning with Celoid, you know what I mean? He saw my talent.
Yes.
And then after that, you know, Mikey saw my talent. So then he brought me to King Tubby's. Cecil saw my talent, so he gave me the opportunity. And then Musled and Dennis Rowe, they saw my talent, so then they gave me the opportunity.
Gave you the opportunity.
And then once Greensleeve, now Chris Cracknell, you know, he saw my talent again, and so he invested in everybody. You know what I'm saying? But you know, for me, I had that work ethic. I just wanted to, you know, to progress and to push on, and he saw my talent. And then I came up with songs, you know, that were catchy. I listened to them and, you know, kind of went with the flow, and they were not always right. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of listened, and then, you know, I came up with something, and it's just finding that tune, you know. And then Tippa, Irie and the Colonel came out, which was catchy, and then it's Good to Have the Fino, the best. And then it's Complaint Neighbor, that I kind of got the idea of a Smiley's police officer.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then boom, Hello Darling came.
Stop. Hello Darling. So that's a defining moment for Tippa Irie.
Definitely.
Would you say that's when things have just taken a massive turn?
Yeah, massive, huge.
Huge turn.
Huge.
We're going to get into that single shortly. Tell us about how you came up with that song. What was the feeling? Is there a story behind that song?
Yeah, there's a story. People's Club. You know, we was playing, I think we was playing either Exodus or you remember Lloyd? You know Lloyd Brown, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Lloyd I think Lloyd was in a sound called Exodus. So we was either playing them or it was maybe a Coxswain dance or one of them dances. But, you know, them days there, you could park the van outside the club, you know. So the sound van was parked directly outside of the venue.
Right.
You know what I mean? So me just take a break now and say, yo, me I go sit down in the van, you know, and take a little break. Because, you know, them sessions are long, you know. So me just did it and a girl come out to the dance. So I just said to her, hello, darling. You know what I mean? And then she looked back, she goes, hello, good looking. You know what I mean? And then she goes, I know you. You know what I mean? Like that. So I said, wow, you know what? That's something that everybody says. You know what I mean? That's something what everybody says. So I just said to myself, you know what? That's a good idea for a tune.
Yeah.
So we got back in at the dance now and start, you know, me just say, hello, darling, hello, good looking. And the man them start laugh after me, you know what I mean? It's like, Tippa, where you go with them the soft lyric there, you know what I mean? And then, you know, Levi is bantering as well. He's like, boy, Tippa, some woman him out there chat up, you know. Some woman, you out there chat up while you're coming at the dance with them lyrics. So we just cuss him off and run him. And then, because, you know, we're just bantering
back
and forth. And so them times we was just signed to Greensleeves. So I was doing It's Good to Have the Feeling You're the Best. And I was voicing that tune in the studio. And they were saying to me that I was saying it's good to have the feeling you're the breast, you know, instead of good to have the feeling you're the best.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, bruv, I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm saying it's good to have the feeling you're the best.
Yeah.
You know, and they're saying, you know, listen to it, Tip. And I'm listening and I'm thinking, no, I don't get it. But anyway, I need a break. You know, because you lot are pissing me off now. So I sat down. I didn't even come out the car. You know when you don't even want to see them?
Yeah.
Because you know they're just getting on my nerves.
You lot are taking liberties now.
They're taking liberties. They're taking this long. So I sat down in the booth, just like in a room like this. I just sat down in there. I said, sure. And then I just started to sing, hello, darling. Hello, good looking. And the Chris, me see him head come over through the window. I said, Tippa, what's that? I said, no, man, it's just a tune that I'm thinking about writing. He said, you better go home and write that tune because that sound like something. So I said, okay, cool. So I go home and I just write the lyrics and then I come back and I said, this is the song. And he's like, right, let's get to work. Because this tune is catchy. It's got that hello that everybody says that, the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wrote the lyrics, went back to see him, and then you had Patrick Donegan, who's from the Reggae Regulars. You remember them, a band called the Reggae Regulars? They've done tunes like Where Is Jar and Black Star Line.
Yeah, of course.
And those tunes.
Yeah.
Well, Patrick was, and you had Drumpton Ward, who was on drums. And then you had Lindell Lewis who's on keyboards. And they just started to sketch out the rhythm. So it was just there vibing. And then we said, you know what? We need rather than have a live drum, we need more of a more computer sound.
Okay.
So at that time, everybody was using the Linn drum. You know what I mean? The Linn drum machine. So Lindell Lewis now, you know, who's like a very talented engineer, musician, arranger. I don't know if you remember "Can't Be With You Tonight" by Judy Boucher.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
from the older generation.
Yeah. He done that tune as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But Felix De Silva done all of wrote the song and the arrangements, but Lindell mixed and completed it.
How was you able to get in touch with these, you know, prolific engineers and people?
These were the company.
Or just through the company?
Yeah, through the company.
Fair enough.
Through
I wasn't sure if it was like you might have known them just like
there
through
was
your
a
own
studio where
association.
we used to use called Mark Angelo. I don't know if you remember Linda Lasardi. Page 3
Oh,
girl.
God, Linda Lasardi, of course, like Samantha Fox days.
Yeah,
and all
them,
that.
them.
Yeah.
Her brother.
Oh, you're going back.
Yeah. Her brother. You see, the memory is still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
in
It's still there.
But stop smoking herb now. But anyway, we won't go into that. But yeah, the memory is still there. So it's like
Linda Lasardi's
Lasardi brother. He had a studio called Mark Angelo's.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
okay. This
so
is
we
history.
used to go. That's where Greensleeve used to go. You know what I
Okay.
mean? To do the stuff. So Lindell used to work at that studio also. So when you book the studio, you got the engineer.
Look at that.
Yeah. So
Look at
Lindell
that.
was there, and he was the one that just helped me to. I could sing the song, but then now to do the harmonies was a different thing. I'd never done kind of like sung harmony like that. So Lindell will sing the notes, and then I would go in and put the next harmony, and then the next harmony up. He would just say, right, Tippa, sing it like this. You know what I mean? So then I would sing that note, and then I'd come back, and then he said, right, the next harmony is this. Sing it like this. And then I would just go in there and sing and do exactly what he said until we got that group, you know what I mean, of voices. So because of Lindell, you know, and his talent and his arrangement skill, he done the drums and he done the bass and the keyboard work. And then we called in a guy called Kyle Brown, who's done a tune called Jazzy Mood for Love. I don't know, you might have heard of him, but
No.
he's an acoustic guitarist,
Right, okay.
jazz guitarist. And then Ray Carlos, who passed away recently as well, was on saxophone, and he played. So we had really, you know,
Proper musicians.
proper musicians.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we made a few mistakes with
Yeah.
the arrangements and whatever, because sometimes, you know, you date the studio and you do a tune and you take it home and you think, no, it doesn't go like that.
Yeah.
It needs to be here, or it needs to be this, or it needs to be that. So that happened a couple of times with Hello Darling, and then till we got it right. And then at the time, Saxon was the hottest thing, you know. So it's just like whoever's hot now, you know what I mean? If Chronix comes out with a tune right now, everybody would at least listen to it.
Yes.
Because he's one of the hottest
So if
artists right
Saxon's
now.
playing it.
So it's not
Yeah.
even that.
Yeah.
We were the hottest thing.
Yeah,
at
the
the
hottest
time.
thing. Yeah. So what you say goes. Yeah.
Because I came out with something that was completely different.
And I was just about to say and ask you, remember, you know, because you guys were hardcore lyricists.
Yes.
Now that
yeah.
would have been such a difference.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
song was totally different.
Yeah.
To what
But
you're
that was
you're
me.
opposed to
That
delivering.
was me. I was just like that.
Versatile.
Yeah, versatile.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how they
yeah,
call
yeah.
me, Mr. Versatile.
Yeah.
Because I would just adapt.
Yeah.
You know, you adapt or you at least try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You try something. Yeah. You don't know what it is. Because enough of the times I go into the studio, it's like with Lloyd Brown when I done Stress. You know what I mean? You just go there and you think, you don't know what's gonna, because you don't know, you ain't heard the tune, because some of the times they never send. It's not like nowadays they might just send you an MP3 and you got it and boom, bam, 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 bam. A lot of the time they wouldn't even send you the tune. They would just say, come to the studio.
Yeah, you have to come to the studio. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I turn up now and I hear Stress, you hear it straight away. You think, this is a hit tune.
Yeah.
So then straight away the pen comes out and you're sitting there, and then you Miss Me's a rebel, get so much trouble. Tippa, you and your cute dimple, why you just won't cycle. Every day you get up, girl, you me's a rebel. If me talk to a girl, I no know the data. Next day me come in, me no get no dinner. If me come in, I me yard 1 hour late, not have nothing like it, and never come on me plate. All of a sudden, the bar it no set, and somebody rub over me Saxon cassette. It just came.
Just came to you just like that.
Simple.
That's
It's
mad.
like you're sitting there, and it just starts to flow. You know what I'm saying? Because you can feel, if you can feel the track and feel that rhythm,
conviction,
it just comes. For me, if I have to struggle, it's hard for me.
Let's get into that joint this morning. Hello, darling.
Yes, sir.
Because it was a life-changing moment.
Yes, sir.
Can you introduce it, please?
Now, this is Tippa Irie, the original ragamuffin, and you know and I know that you know it's all about Special K with they are live in the studio. It's Just Cool Radio. This is Tippa Irie, 1986, number 1 in the reggae charts, number 22 in the national.
There
We're
you
back.
have
We're
it.
back.
Hello, darling. What a moment. If you... No, he's got
You're not
two
ready this
international.
song?
We're not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
We're not ready for that. And you know what? I'm looking at the time. You know, we've got half. No.
Oh, we got half an hour, bro.
You see, like how
Time flies when you're having fun.
But I would just.
What we should have done,
Yeah.
we should have started at 10.
Yeah. But you know what? No, we can do a part two.
Yes.
We can do a part two later in the year.
Yes, man. No
you know what I mean?
problem.
When after your travels, come back.
Come back. Yes.
We'll do it again because we need to talk about the book as well. And
yes.
and
Definitely.
obviously, you got to get busy as well before you get out the door. You know what I mean? It's the last show, isn't it? So,
yes.
Yeah, so that was a life-changing experience for you there. Hello, darling.
Yeah.
You've gone from King Tubby's to joining Saxon, leaving Brixton, coming to Lewisham, and it makes sense. But yeah. You're in the biggest sound in the UK.
Yes.
Up and down the country. And now you've got a song that has just changed your life.
Definitely.
What started to happen after Hello, Darling?
Well, it's just, after about 6 months, PRS came. You know what I mean?
Now, for those who are listening who are a bit too young, who don't know what PR... No, because people don't... No, everybody knows. What is PRS?
It's the Performing Rights Society.
Performance Rights Society.
So the Performing Rights Society is basically when your song gets played on mainstream radio or radio in general, they collect... If you're the songwriter, they'll collect that payment and basically pay it to you. So basically, for me, it was like, wow, my song's getting played on Capital, on Radio 1, on all of the legal stations, them. And so, obviously, one morning I went to my front door and there was a check there. You know what I mean? And when I opened that envelope and I just sat down for a bit, and I'm like, really? You know what I mean? And then I went to my mum, and I said, you remember them? Remember when you used to tell me or ask me why I used to sit down and write the lyrics them? This was why. You know what I mean? And then, so I just said, yo, you can go and look for the house now. You know what I mean? So she got a house in Broxholm Road in, I still live in that area, actually, in Liam Court Road. And so that was a blessing to be able to say, Mum, go and look for that.
What was her response like?
She just laughed. She just laughed and said, all right then. All right then. You know what I mean? Like, all right then. You know what I mean? And so it was like, so my life changed. Obviously, I could get myself a little car.
Yeah.
I could travel. I could do things to basically enjoy myself and to not have to worry about financial side of things. That was a blessing, you know what I'm saying? And then obviously now within the community, you're a household name.
Yes.
So everywhere you go now, people are stopping you in the streets. And then I would be, I'd come out of the tube station. Remember in Shepherd's Bush?
Yeah.
Greensleeve Records was there, and they had a record shop there. And then one morning we was playing, I don't know, it was me and Commander B was coming from somewhere, and we had to take the tube. So we came out of the tube station, and the whole record shop was just me. You know what I mean?
That's
and
mad.
I think then that's when it kind of hit home. Say, right, Tip, this is happening.
Yeah, your
this
boss.
is happening. So Commander B said, Tip, look. So I said, what? He goes, look. And then when I looked in the whole of the record shop was Tippa Irie at the front. So that was kind of when it kind of hit home.
It
Said,
hit home.
You know what? It's now. It's happening now. You're going to become a star. So I just kind of just went with it.
What was the reception from your team now that you've catapulted?
No, it was good. It was good.
Was it supportive?
It was good. Yeah,
because sometimes there's egos that get in the way.
Yes, of course. That's always
and that's why I mentioned that. Everything's not always ha ha ha.
No.
You know, people frown.
You get that.
Top
You
lips
get
go
that
up
because obviously you're doing different things now.
Yes.
And you're moving on to different areas. You're getting on plane. That's why I said, is it really happening to me? Taking era playing like It's a Taxi.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at that time, I was just moving. We was going to America, and I done so much road work, because when even them days, when you're going to America or places like that, you're starting again from the beginning. But in saying that, you know, Saxon tapes were everywhere.
Legendary.
It was everywhere. So if, you know, recently you see people like Busta Rhymes and people
I
like that.
saw it just recently, a couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago.
said that, you know what I mean? They were listening because it's just like your brethren here saying that, you know, people used to fight over the tape, them who have the latest Saxon tape and whatever. It was the same in New York.
Yeah, it was.
So within the Jamaican community, because remember, you know, even in Jamaica, them a chat, them a tea for lyrics, them. You know, you have Peter Metro, Tonto Metro, them a chat Tippa, Irie and the Colonel word for word.
Well, we're going to get into that shortly because I'm going to give you some fire questions shortly.
Yes.
I don't know if you want them now or what.
Well,
we're
we're running out of time, bro.
So let's give you some of the fire questions. Right, so let's get into some of the fire questions. How many years were you at Saxon?
I would say
from beginning to
end.
To the end.
Why?
How many years at Saxon?
It must be about 10, 15 years.
10 to 15 years at
Something
Saxon.
like that, yeah, because obviously from I was 84, yeah, I guess in the 90s, like middle of the night. Yeah, about 10 years or so.
Right. So when did you finally depart from Saxon? What year?
I think it's more in the 90s, but I kind of...
That long ago?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like late 90s.
Seemed like it was more noughties to me, but it was definitely the 90s.
Yeah, like towards the late 90s.
Right,
and
okay.
It wasn't really like a departing. It's like you're moving, it's like sessions are sessions. So if they came to me and said, "Oh, Tip, we're doing this session."
Right, okay.
And I didn't have a tour or I was on doing a thing.
Right.
And it made sense, then I would go and do it. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, you know, with the sound system owners, you know, they're very careful with their money, let's just say.
Right, okay.
You know, and sometimes when you become a man, or, you know, we're not kids anymore.
Right.
So for me, I'm a transparent person. So if you want me to be a part of what you're doing, you have to be transparent.
Yes.
And because of what you helped me to achieve, I will make concessions for you because of who you are.
Absolutely.
If you give me a cold call, then if you call me, it's special calling me.
Yeah.
So you say, "Tip, I'm doing this," and da 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 da. I will still send you to my manager.
Yes.
But me and you would discuss, and then I would tell my manager it's special, so I'm gonna do it for
Deal
him
with it
for
XYZ because it's special.
It's special.
But you still have to do business.
But exactly.
Because it's business.
It's business, right? So it's like if you know, so it's like if they call me in that capacity,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But sometimes it's just how they think. It's not the mental capacity of level of thinking. It's just not there. It's like if you're doing a dance at the Lambeth Town Hall, you know, it's 700 people. It's £20 to get in. That's 14 grand.
Do the maths.
Right? So if you then called me and said, "Oh, Tip, yeah, we got a dance at the town hall," I said, oh, okay then. So how's it going to go then? How's it going to work then? "Boy, just come." I'm like, okay, so just come. So what do you mean by that then? Because I can come, but you've got 14 grand at the door, and then you've got the bar. So your gross potential, it may be, you know, you probably make as much on the door as you do at the bar.
Yeah.
So your gross potential might be, I don't know, 25, 28 grand, whatever. So then you're calling me and you're saying, "Just come." So this is the level of thinking sometimes they think, I can't be doing that.
No. It's business.
It's business.
It's business.
So if you're not going to prepare to do business, then let's keep it moving. You know what I mean?
No, simple.
And that's how it is. So sometimes it's like I did the Jamrock cruise. You know what I'm saying? And we did 2 cruises, you know? So Damien Marley's manager calls me and said, "Tip, I want Saxon." I said, okay. So I call one entity, I call the other entity, call the other entity, and then there's me. You know what I mean? This is the gross. There's your deposit. There's your deposit. There's your deposit. On the day of the event, there's your balance. You know what I mean?
Business.
This guy's happy. That guy's happy. This guy's happy. I'm happy. everybody knows what's happening. Everybody knows the full picture.
Because that's how it's supposed to run, right?
All right. So that's transparency.
Yeah.
A lot of the sound owners now, if the money went to them, that wouldn't have happened. A man would gonna come up to you and say, boy, all this, all that. No, it's not business.
Too grown, too established to be saying, hold this.
Yeah. No.
You understand?
Yeah.
Maybe when I was 17, you could have got away with that. But as an elder and a statesman, you can't be saying to me, hold on to this. We're not doing that.
No.
We're not doing
like,
that.
And you, plus, you know, so it's all these kind of things that sometimes you have to kind of put behind and leave and move on because it's, you know, we've grown up.
So you've heard it from the horse's mouth. Would you say that was the demise of you from Saxon?
It was part
more
of it.
to do with business.
Yeah,
more just business.
more the business thing. It was part of it, you know. And you know, people are people, and you just have to accept them for how they are.
Absolutely.
And if it's not how you would like to move forward, then you just keep away.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't like you, I keep my distance.
No, I love that.
Because I don't really want to get involved in. I just want to do music and sing and go out and tour and, you know, and earn a good living and be happy as much as I can. And the conflicts and the this and that, if once that happens, I just keep it moving. Everybody makes mistakes.
Yes.
I've made mistakes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I've done
No one's
things,
perfect.
you know, no one's perfect. You do things and you think, oh, for God's sake, I shouldn't have done that, you know. You know what I mean? But in you know, you have to be man enough to say, yo, you know what, I was wrong. I apologize, and then you keep it moving. You know, but people have to also, you know, because sometimes people can draw you out, you know what I mean, and make you act out of character.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I don't, you know, and sometimes you have to just like, you know, yo, you know what?
Because they're drawing you into their frequency.
Well, there you go.
Stay in your
because
frequency.
Sometimes, you know, like you say, people see, you know, you might do something, but then people don't see what they do to make you do what you do.
Yes.
You understand?
Because every action breeds a reaction.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
okay, so that was that. So when they've had their reunion dances, quote unquote, is that technically you then still on the sound, or is this because you're just doing a favour around the sound?
There's a complete split with the MCs and the sound. Now.
Right.
There's a complete set. So you have the 5 MCs,
okay,
which is us, and then you have Musled, which is Saxon. You know what I mean? Musled is the owner of the sound. So he's got his equipment and he's got his stuff.
So he just deals with sound system stuff.
Yeah. So that's his. The MCs are a separate entity.
You guys can still perform as a clique.
Yeah, as a clique. Yeah.
As what then? What do you go under then?
Well, it would be the famous 5 or the Saxon MCs.
Right. Okay. Okay.
But even that is like he's a bit funny with us using the name.
Right.
That we
because you're technically not
build.
in Saxon.
Yeah.
Are any of the MCs still in Saxon?
Not that I know of, no.
So
as far as I know, Saxon now is Musled,
Brando, and Sean Muscle.
And
those 3, right, okay.
They're going now as Saxon. I think Victor V from over North London, he plays at, I think they play at Boylesdale as well. And
That's
he
right,
plays
that's
there
right.
with them as well. So that is Saxon. And then obviously all the MCs are doing their own particular things.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
But
cool.
I'm just focusing on Tippa Irie.
No, I love that.
Brand.
I'm glad you cleared that all up because I need to just know where we're at, what's going on with Saxon.
Yeah.
There's a question on here. I don't know if you want to answer this. Someone's asked him if he can remember playing against Maverick in Leeds.
No.
No, he doesn't rember that.
No, I remember.
No.
I think I asked him if it's Fluid Irie part of my Maverick because I'm playing against. I remember going to Leeds with Colonel because even that used to happen as well. The MC, me and Colonel and me and Levi, other sounds from other area because there was a sound called Skippy and Lippy. In Wolverhampton. You know, they were the first guys to bring us to the Midlands.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then there was a promoter called Rose. Her and her husband, can't remember what the name of their company was, but they used to bring me and Levi. We did 2 shows with them where they brought me and Levi to Birmingham, just me and Levi, not the sound. And then there was a few sessions up in Leeds, what we did. I don't know if it was actually on Maverick Sound. It might have been on the sound.
Okay.
Saxon probably clashed them, but there was a couple of times where we went up there and we did some dances up there with just me and Levi.
Okay, got to big up some of your fans. Then they locked on this morning. I don't, because we've been ignoring the socials all morning. Right, what's this one? Tippa seems like such a gentleman. I like that. I'm old enough to remember Tippa's music up in Harlesden many moons ago. What song did you sing with your phone number?
Thank you, by the way. Who's that said out there? I seem like a gentleman.
Oh, you seem like a gentleman. I think I like that one. Massive shout going out to my cuz. She's locked on this morning, Pat Warmington.
Hi, Pat.
Yeah.
Hello, Pat. Bless you, darling.
And while we're saying that, we've got to say R.I.P. my cousin Mark.
Yeah,
as well,
man.
You know what I mean?
God.
That's our link as well.
Our link, man.
That's our link.
I
That's
cried
our link.
like a baby at that.
Bro,
funeral,
you don't even know, Tip, man. You don't even know.
Such a lovely man.
Yeah, okay, you got that there. Right, so there's a few more things coming up there, but we ain't got the time for that,
Bro,
right?
we've got 10 minutes.
We've got 10 minutes. Let's do this. Right. It's running away. Time's running away.
Yeah.
Right. In your heart of heart.
Yes.
The toughest sound.
Yeah.
Or MC that you faced. Challenger. The toughest MC in all your history, you could say, jeez.
It would have to be Professor Nuts. A Jamaican artist.
Professor Nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, Professor Nuts.
We kind of thought, you know what, we ain't going to win this, Yeah. So let's just do our thing. And, you know what I mean? I think it was a night where we played, I can't remember, one of them sounds from Jamaica. And it was nuts and chicken chest and stuff that was on the mic. And, but we just hold our own, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just do that. But, with Nuts, he was like, it's like your favorite MC, where it's like you're clashing your favorite MC. It's just like, oh, okay. You know what? To me, he's like the best lyricist, like with the humor and the whatever. But for me, I never really feared any MC much as such, But Papa San, Professor Nuts.
Now we're talking.
Lieutenant Stitchy.
That's what we said the other day.
Them man, they reminded us of us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I went to Jamaica first, and I went on the radio, and I was like, they said, who's your favorite MC? I said, Papa San. Professor Nuts, Lieutenant Stitchy. They just shot down they came to the radio station.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we became friends ever since, me and Papa San.
Okay. Toughest sound you've had to go against. Not MC, toughest sound.
Wow, because there was a lot, Creation.
Creation.
Jamaica again, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
They were bad.
In Jamaica. Yeah, it's Papa San sound.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, when we toured Jamaica, it was like, that was the only time I'm thinking, bloody hell. When you're performing with them, man, like San particular, he's just got so much lyrics.
He's a lyricist.
And then it's like you're there and you're chatting, and then he's chatting and he's chatting and he's chatting, and then you're chatting and he's chatting and he's chatting, and then he's still chatting and chatting and chatting, and he's got
lyrics. He's got lyrics.
But the thing
is,
it's with him. It's like when you feel like as an MC, you're going through all of your lyrics, and normally there's not enough. There's not enough time.
Yes.
Right, but it's like when you're doing a long session
like. But you's the same though, Tip.
Yeah.
I've seen you chat out to the versions done.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're fine with that. But what I mean is the volume. Of lyrics that he had, and it's remembering. Even though I should know that because I do the same thing. But it's just the volume that he had, and being able to push them all out there. You know what I mean?
You can't include yourself.
Yes.
Because you're Tippa, innit?
Yes, sir.
You're the general.
Yeah.
Who's the baddest DJ to come out the UK?
That is a tough one, mate. It's tough because obviously I'd have to say Levi, Papa Levi.
Mm-hmm.
And then my favorite MC is Maccabee.
Okay.
Lyricist. I just like the way he puts his lyrics them together. Then you have, obviously, there's DJs that have style, like Sweetie Irie, General Levy. They got like some styles. But lyrics-wise, Maccabee, Papa Levi, I'd say them two is my top two.
Love that.
Levi and Maccabee.
And Maccabee. Love that. Clarified. Just to sum it up quickly, because we've been through a lot of things this morning.
Yes, sir.
So much, and we've got to get you busy in a minute. What's your honest take on the current state of sound system culture right now in 2023, going into 2024? How do you view it? How do you see it with the whole way things have changed from when you came into the scene to now, as we spoke about MP3, the
laptop culture.
Laptop culture, the way they play songs for 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's boring.
Playing the songs at 200 miles per hour.
That's boring.
What's your views on that? Give me a little summary on that.
That kind of juggling culture, because like even when I watch the Sound Clash thing, and I find that very boring. You know what I mean? And for the listener, I just find if you go out, and because I watched even the Jamrock Cruise clash the other day, and you got sound like Soul Supreme, or not Soul Supreme, what are they called? One of them sound, they're from New York, and it's like they're playing the tunes. They play a chorus, next tune, play a chorus, next tune.
Sometimes just a sentence.
Yeah, right. So how now, as you as a dancing person, public, is supposed to go out?
They're not even dancing no more.
They're not even
dancing no more.
So for me, coming from Shaka, coming from Channel One, Irish and Steppers, the root sound them, and then you got the rubber dub sound them, like Saxon, King Tubby's, Coxon, Nasty Rockers. All the, Soprano B, Stereograph, all these sound systems coming from that culture. I can't relate to that as sound system culture. And where I think even Saxon went wrong a little bit, because they, Stone Love came in, and what Stone Love done, they introduced the 2 turntables.
Yes.
And what they did it well.
Yeah.
Rory and them, because they were still playing tunes and letting the tune them breathe.
Let them breathe, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was entertaining. You know what I'm saying? And then they would have a break and play some soul, and play some, it'd be a variety, even in Jamaica, it's pop, they might play Celine Dion,
Boy George,
Boy George, whatever they might play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for me, brother, nah, I'm not really feeling. I prefer the. Maybe I'm just older.
Yeah.
I'm older, but I prefer the old school dances and how they are, and man, I dance with woman.
Yeah. As you said, it's just times have evolved.
Yeah.
It's a culture thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's good to have your views on that. But listen, could you just tell us about your book quickly?
Yes. Time I run, because me no know. Listen. Tippa Irie, here I have my people, my new autobiography. It is out now. Stick to My Roots. It's out now. It's on Amazon. You can go to tippairie.com, check it out, and if you go to the website, as soon as the website comes up, you click on it, and it will take you to where you can buy the book. You can also buy it from Jackawanda, who's the publishers. It's all, just Google Tippa Irie, Stick to My Roots. The book is out now, and all of what we just spoke about, my life story, everything is in the book. So check it out. Blessed.
Tippa, I love this. Is this mine?
This is yours.
Oh, thank you. Can I have it signed as well, please?
I will do.
I want it signed.
It is for you.
Did you like the way I did that?
It is for you.
Yeah, it's mine. Thank you. I mean, I'm going to treasure this book. You know what I mean? I'm going to thank you. Thank you. I'm going to get you to sign that.
We can sign it pan here.
Yeah, sign it, please. Exclusive. Someone's asking on the screen, is that Tippa Irie?
They're a bit late, innit? We need a new marker, brother.
Need a new marker for that. New marker. Oops.
But listen, you got 2 minutes, bro.
No, I'm ready. Last final question and we're done. Last final question. I like to do this one.
Yes.
You've done many interviews.
Yes.
Many interviews.
Yeah.
But I want you to share something with your listeners this morning that you've never, ever mentioned before about yourself.
Oh, wow.
That you've never mentioned in any interview in 40 years. Share us a little something like, you know what? Here's a little secret that I'm going to share with you. Could be something in relation to an artist. Could be anything. A session, someone that you work with, and the song never came out. It could be anything.
Okay, I did a tune with Jurassic 5.
Okay.
Hip hop group. Huge hip hop group in thing. I did a tune with them, and the tune is a big tune, and it never came out.
There you go. Love that. And you've never shared that before?
No.
There you go.
No,
That's what
no,
I'm talking
no,
about.
no.
That's what makes this interview different. You've shared something different. Listen, you've been a great guest this morning.
Thank you, my brother.
And
Great host. Great host. Well done. Well done. Well
Have
done.
you enjoyed yourself this morning? It's been all right. Mr. Legacy, big up yourself this morning. Anton, I see you. But listen, let's get to showtime. We're going to just like stretch it over maybe 5 minutes or so. The messages are rolling in. There's so many messages. Right, okay, where we're going to go? We're going to take it old school, right?
Yeah, man.
Let's take it old school. You ready though? You ready? Innit?
Yeah,
I know you're ready because you said you're ready.
Let's go with it.
Let's do this, man.
Yo. My day alive in the studio, special K. Mr. Irie don't play. Have mercy. Hey. I me say yes, I that the Tippa, well, you know, say me no play. Live and direct with a special care. You know, say that the Tippa, so me turn and so me stay. Me day upon the King's Highway. Now me say from me eye the amini, from me a little bikini, feel the beat and harmony, from the Grizzly and Robbie, Lee Perry and King Jammy, Joe Gibbs and Mr. King Tubby, make we dance and make we free, like the bird up in the tree. Channel 1 scientists, make the music sound so crisp, back in Banner Roots Radix, music that you can resist. 9 a.m. me bridging where them call strikally. Me say who they on the mic, I know the Tippa Irie. Me say from the eye at the knee, from me a little bikini, feel the beat and harmony, from the Grizzly and Robbie, Lee Perry and King Jammy, Joe Gibbs and Mr. King Tubby, make we dance and make we free, like the bird up in the tree. Channel 1 scientists, make the music sound so crisp, back in Banner Roots Radix, music that you can resist. 9 a.m. me virgin where them call strikally. Me say who they on the mic? Silly. All right, we have 5 people today in the studio. Just School Radio. Is that what you about the sound? A little way come down to me. Miss Irie, we no ramp and play. Become hard the time, lyrical rhyme, slim me fine, no fi wine, me come a dancer, chanting time, lyric me chat well them my mind and well it at the time the lyrical rhyme me slim me fine, me no fi wine, me come a dance, me chanting time, the lyric me chat a mine and mine, 7 and 7 and 49 and 3 and 3 that equal 9, next size 7 and not size 9, me advance 6 and not 5 9, with 30 and not 29 is Tippa Irie chatting for anything me chat, mine is Samuel Jackson sing the girl is mine, support your back, have your spine, sell lemon is bitting up in the neck, I'm a sweet me night, my mood was spicy, Tippa Irie the people side, come a dance me nice, you might make a girlfriend, you know I just, what do you eat and what do you like and what do you black and what do you white, but what would I do if I was a rich man, I buy your beef, I buy your car, buy your pop with my umber, I travel there, I travel there, travel almost anywhere, I travel up, I travel down, even by my own time, I take a plane and go to Spain, take a chance and go to France, I would not go to any down, some of them white and black and some of them pink and some of them brown, and me say some of them walk and talk about them mad and pan microphone, me say some of them talk about this and some of them talk about this and that, but Mr. Irie in the place, and me come there so featured, me say every day is another beat, them send them come around the street, come me cause my live them sweet and they don't say I'm man off with it, I'm man come fit on the E, come ride the rhythm complete, now they take me cut you know we come do that, come want to go. We still got it special, okay?
You got it.
But about my buying. But I'm inside in our life. We praise him most high. Anyhow, and then sing say, well, I'm a black man, I'm a African, and my parents are Jamaican, and I grew up in a London, so you know I know where I'm coming from. I'm a black man, I'm a African, and my parents are Jamaican, and I grew up in a London, so you know I know where I'm coming from. I know where I'm coming from, I know where I'm going. It's a positive energy. I keep on showing respect myself, respect my roots, and respect my ancestors. Can't forget Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and Robert Nesta. Teach us to unify and pray for one another. Teach us to unify and love one another. One heart, one aim, and one destiny. And that's how we want in the community. So, well, I'm a black man, I'm an African, and my parents are Jamaican, and I grew up in a London. So you know I know where I'm coming from. I'm coming from the natural continent, the motherland with natural resources, minerals and diamonds. Anything you plant, well, you know it have to grow. Africa, it is a place where everybody want can go like Addis Ababa, in Ethiopia, Lagos, Nigeria, Nairobi, Kenya, Azerbaijan, in the Ivory Coast. Well, them the place them me want visit the most. My ancestors were captured, taken to Jamaica by the British and the Spanish colonial masters. In 1962, them get them independence, and then flying go a Britain for some pound and pencil. Well, I'm a black man, I'm an African, and my parents are Jamaican, and I grew up in a London, so you know I know where I'm coming from. I'm coming from London, place at the Cockney slang, place at the lovers rock crime, and the jungle is place for the Roman queen. They are Buckingham, fish and chips and egg and bacon, rainy, cloudy. Stand up! Stand up! And I'm gonna about the sound a little way come down to me. Reggae music got to play along the way. And I'm gonna say it till you. Alright. Hello, darling. Hello, good looking. 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 Well, in the USA, I was out walking. A little young girl, I was seeking. I see a young girl, she started smiling. I walked over, we started talking. I said, how, babe? She said, how are you keeping? I said, I'm cool, I'm just doing my own thing. She said, hey man, I hear you are the in thing. You're Tippa Irie from that Saxon sound system. I said, babe, this is my first time in foreign. She said, how about we just make it interesting? I said, there's one thing I want to do, my darling. We can go home and have a quiet evening and have a meal, you know, that's where we're finger licking and strictly champagne, that's what we'll be drinking. Well, in the next verse I'll carry on explaining, but right now I want boy and girl to sing. Hello, darling. Hello, good looking. Special K, well, you know him, I carry the swing. Hello, darling. Hello, good looking. Hello, darling. Come and say Miss Miserable, give so much trouble. Tippa, me no know why you can't humble me cry. Miss Miserable, give so much trouble. Tippa, me no know why you can't humble. You and your cute dimple, why you just won't settle? Every day you get up, girl, you miserable. If me talk to a girl and me no know the data, me say next day me come in, me no get no dinner. If me come in and me yard 1 hour late, not a dumpling or a fritter, me no get pan the plate. All of a sudden, me want it no set and somebody run over me Saxon cat. With the Mr. Irie now like the wooden sound. Special kids, the DJs, I won't say. Well, I control the dance south, east and west. In London and Birmingham, man have to confess. Now I'm on Mr. Irie, oh the Lord God bless. When enough money me, them want to invest. To a chat to perfection, them show interest. My voice it no deep, it's sweet and fastless. It's sweeter than a sparrow who are singing a nest. Yes, it's good to have the feeling you're the best. Yes, it's good to have the feeling you're the best. Yes, it's good to have the feeling you're the best. Yes, it's good to have the feeling you're the. When number 10 down the street with my guitar address. And when I went to school, I used to work on a desk. The girls in my school, you know them was countless. But no sweaty girl, Tippa Irie molest. The best kind of steel, man, that is stainless. And most blues dances kept in a darkness. You got to jump for joy and jump for happiness, sir. Because it's good to have the feeling you're the best. Yes, it's good to have the feeling you're the best. Because we take off the S off a Superman chest. You know Special K, well him rated as the best. You know Special K, well him full of progress. And this is Tippa Irie and me don't care less, because it's good to have the feeling you're the best. Yes, you know say reggae music and it. Well I'm gonna tell the people and I'm gonna tell the press. A pirate is a person not gonna make no progress. Cause when them chop a mic, the boy them sound helpless. And down in West London they try to put us to the test. But I won't say no more, you know my case is rest. A pirate is a person completely harmless. You know say Mr. Irie know me full of progress, because it's good to have the feeling you're the best. Yes, it's good to have the feeling you're the best. Yes, you know Special K are the best. Yes, you know say Mr. Irie are the best. I'm putting about the sound. All ganja man. They come with further. We there, Just Cool Radio. Miss Irie in the building. Have mercy. Miss Irie at the party. Well, the Irie at the ding 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 ding. And then we can't repair the bed. No further bed. And then we mag the bed. And then we ring ding 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 ding. Yes, mang the bed Tippa went down with a band something thing. Ring ding 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 ding. Yes, special key with down with a something and then but the do but the down but the do but the do but the number phenomenon but the do but the down but the do but the do but the number phenomenon but the do but the down but the do but the do but the number phenomenon but the do but the down but the do but the do but the number. Now from East Coast got down to the west, I am rated as one of the best. And from New York got down to LA, well, them love the way the Tippa DJ and them love the way me work and how me perform. Love the way the DJ nice up the land. Whether by plane or Eurostar, well, them not some send for the unique boy. Because we have one with upon lyrics and now with upon style and now with upon fashion and we'll versatile like that. With upon lyrics and with upon style and now with upon fashion and me well versatile. Come here the Tippa. Everybody knows that the Tippa have the power. Year to year DJ with lyrics them a show. After every lyric there's a next one to follow. The DJ we soft like flower. Can't come and test me so high with. Ring ding 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 ding. What are they thinking? Sure, we cutie, make sure you move your booty. You shake that thing in the city house. Big up special care. Big up my sign of the place. Just Cool Radio, you don't know. Hey, we say, now cutie, make sure you move your booty. Shake that thing in the city I've seen them. Well, hey, shorty, I know you wanna party. And the way your body looking make me really feel yo. Well, cutie, make sure you move your booty. Shake that thing in the city I've seen them. Well, hey, shorty, I know you wanna party. And the way your body looking make me really feel. I got the nothing at the style, and nothing at the crew. And anything I do just for you. I'm a little bit of old and a bigger bit of new. The true people know that the tips come true. I never say so. We never die, no, we never the say so. We multiply like we mathematics. And then jump bands, cause we shaking to the bomb bombers and the bass boom drummers. Now y'all know who we are, y'all know that we the stars, steady rocking all boulevards, looking at the bodyguards. And I do what I can, Miss Irie. I'm the man, still I stand, mic in hand. So come on, mama, hey, dance to the drummer, hey, mama. It's that me that make you groove, mama. Get on the floor and move your booty, mama. With the blast master blasting out the drummer. So shake your bum, mama. Come on now, mama. It's that me that make you groove, mama. Get on the floor and move your booty, mama. With the blast master blasting out the drummer. So shake your bum, mama. I'm with the sound of the week. Come down to me, a special K. Boom. Yes, sir. You're happy. You sound like you're happy, mate.
Listen. You don't understand. Look, the screen bun up, you know.
So the screen bun up.
The screen bun up. Yo, screen bun up.
Live.
That's what you call a show, man.
Yes,
that's the last show for 2023.
Yes, no problem.
30 years in the game.
Yes.
23 years on radio and celebrating 21 years of doing this Saturday morning show.
Oh, well done.
For the end of 23, I've gone out with a bang, like serious bang.
Yes,
do you know what I mean? Tippa Irie, the legend, right here on Just Cool Radio. We're going to do it again, though, in 2024.
Yes.
So watch out for that, a part 2.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, any last things you'd like to say before you get out the door into the early afternoon?
I got to say this. My book's out, people. My book is out. Stick to my roots. Go and check out my book. Go to tippairie.com. You can link me on all of the socials. Obviously, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all of that good stuff. My book is out now. If you want to really know about my life and my journey, then you can go out and buy my book. You know, it's maybe Christmas is gone, but you can buy it for next year Christmas. Yeah. All right. Bless up,
Blessing.
special.
Listen,
Thank you.
do you remember you can follow us on all the socials, Just Cool Radio on all socials, The Universal Show on Instagram, and also DJ_Special K on the X. All right. Listen, as I always say every week, if you can't be good, be careful. If your intention is to do badness, just remember there's a price to pay for doing badness. Special K was in the building. I wish all of you a happy new year for when it comes. I'll be back in the building next week, Saturday, God's willing. Do you know what I mean? 2024, first show for 2024. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your New Year's. Special K was here, but me gone. Later!